You've got a $1 million impact investment initiative going on. Tell us a little bit about that.
So we've been working for a few years to try to develop some impact investment in the community, which is really, a greater resource into a particular topic or priority to try to move the needle. We grant, pretty prolifically in our organizations and help the services that are necessary to progress the community, but we haven't really gotten into some issues that we need to stem some of the rates, like lead poisoning. And Oneida County's got the highest rate of lead in the state, which
crazy.
is, and it's something we can absolutely correct, but it takes some resources, and it's not just the money. The $1 million is helpful, but that $1 million will hopefully be leveraged 3 to 1 throughout the 3-year and then beyond. But it's about pulling those partners together and holding folks accountable, making sure we're making the right decisions and using our resources right, and getting that number down to, I'd love to get it to 0 by 2030, but, at least get it to the national rates, which are 0.5%. So and lead, creeps into so many different aspects of our society with behavioral and medical issues that, the cost avoidance on the other end of this could be enormous to the community. So it is worthy. It's our first big kind of step into the impact investment world as the community foundation. So I'm really excited. It's kind of what I was most interested in when I took the job last year. So and lots more to come in that field for us.
A little bit more grassroots on the social issues, a little bit of different approach from the community foundation. But I think, as you mentioned, resources here and some of the other agencies. I know we've spoke with the county health department and their initiative and what they've tried to do and bring awareness to the problem here and combat the problem. And I know, as you mentioned, the resources may be something holding them back. And another thing that you have mentioned is, when we deal with lead, it's after the fact when we figure out that it has, caused somebody some problems.
Right.
So I think,
and that's even more costly, obviously, down the line.
It's more costly, and again, when I always like to look at what we're doing for an individual in our community, and for a child to go through, getting the lead poisoning going through their system, and just that whole process of them going through the health issues that are associated with it. It's just a terrible situation, and we can avoid it. And it is about awareness. It's capturing it early. It's making sure that that state mandate to test every child at age 1 and 2 it is held to bear. But there's issues with some people don't go to the pediatrician. There's all these assortment of issues that are very dynamic and multi-layered. That it's not just a one-two solution. It has got to be very integrated and very persistent. And I think the power of the Community Foundation and all of our partners, the county and everybody at the table are going to be able to do a better job together than separately.
Alicia Dicks from the Community Foundation joining us on the Talk of the Town at 100.7 FM WUTQ. You've got a great phrase that's very catchy here, lead-free MV. How long have they known about the levels here in this area of New York State?
I think it's been known for a while, and there have been tactics to get to it, but not universal and not comprehensive. And $1 million investment behind us is really going to help us, catapult this into a different level. We have a lot of folks concentrating on this and worried about it and trying to move that needle. But hopefully with this new inertia, we'll just accelerate everybody's efforts.
Hitting it right where it starts and starting from there and continuing. Some of the initiatives in this investment put together, can you explain where we're going, maybe part of the plan, as you mentioned? It's not very simple. We're going to have to look at it in steps.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of it is outreach and awareness, especially to the pediatrician and the medical and education. But, you think about the highest rates are probably due to paint that's in homes before 1978, which are lead-ridden.
And we know there's a concentrated area.
They're concentrated in all of upstate New York. But why Oneida County is, instead of trying to figure out why don't we figure out the solution? So it's working with our contractors, our landlords, even our tenants, to make sure that, A, they're using the right product, they're working in safe environments. Lead abatement is, if you're a contractor, is like asbestos abatement, where you have to special training. Can we get that training to more of those contractors that are working in those homes? And and to get expedited results. But remember, it's not just concentrated in the cities. We have to deal with the rural communities, which have just as many homes
Sure.
and properties with lead.
Yeah, people are skeptical sometimes about programs like this, but it's nice to see that you got some inspiration based on the Rochester area where they had some
Absolutely.
success at this, right?
Yeah, I mean we're modeling it. We're not mimicking it. Of course, we're a different community, but they've had some great success over 10, I think maybe 13-year period. Their numbers are 89% reductions in lead since 2000 when they started their
That's great.
initiative. So we're taking the best practice of that, and we're also being critical. Where could we learn from their practice so that we can do better, and also make sure it fits our needs in our community, because we are a different community than Rochester.
And
Obviously.
something here highlighted is the childhood effects. How has that impacted our area as far as what you found here?
Yeah, I mean they're if you have one child in a classroom with deep behavioral or learning disabilities, it's difficult to manage that classroom, and most of those kids predominantly will have lead, and and if you look at the prison population, the lead rate testing is very high there as well. So it is an issue that is kind of threaded in a lot of other issues that are causing not just us to spend more money on social services or resources, but time and energy. And the cost avoidance on the other side of this is pretty enormous. But what we've estimated that we spend on one individual child throughout their life is over $700,000, to treat and deal with lead poisoning.
You can't reverse the effects,
You cannot.
but you can help treat them.
Right. So getting it early is absolutely critical. It's a great place for us to start, but we're not going to ignore all the other facets we have to get into.
Is this something that you predict the foundation will continue to do, is more of this grassroots kind of really hard-hitting community stuff?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, that's what we're here for. We're here to make this community better. We've done a good job of bringing resources together in the past. We've got great partners in our donors and our board and our partners in the nonprofit community. But we have a different trend ahead of us. Most foundations nationally are moving for very targeted impact investment with results. So we're really looking at metrics and result-ridden investments instead of, we have a pool of money, let's just spread it out there. So it's a different practice. So it's a different day for the Community Foundation. But I think that's what makes it exciting.
Great. So folks listening into this right now, what will they see right away, and how can they help out if they see something about this?
They'll see a lot of campaigning and advertising and communications on this. We are partnering already with some local agencies on doing some programs, window replacements. But we do have a lead fund at the Community Foundation that people can contribute to.
Okay.
We have a collaboration, a coalition being developed in the next couple of months to again drive our priorities and make sure we hit those milestones. So there's a lot of ways to participate and engage in the process. And again, it's not something that we're going to do for a year or two and kind of, let it slide by the wayside.
Yeah.
We're going to stay diligent on this and meet those metrics.
Great. And if folks do want to get involved with regard to donations, a specific place that they go to on a website? Or?
On the Community Foundation's website is leadfreemv.org. It'll bring you right into all the data and all the information and give you opportunities to participate.